Congratulations, you're a new iPhone 14 Pro or Pro Max owner. Welcome. I'm Troy McClure. You may know me from such videos as Furbo versus PetCube, the sky is not falling, what you need to know about 3G sunsetting, and the very popular Verizon Home Internet Review. Today, we're gonna go over the first 5 things you should do when you get your iPhone 14 Pro or Pro Max. Let's get into it. Much noise has been made about the removal of the SIM slot from the iPhone 14 lineup. You will now be using an electronic or eSIM. And iPhone 14 Pro and Pro Max have 2 spaces for eSIMs. That means you can have 2 phone numbers on one device without needing physical SIM cards. Now, this process works a few different ways. I tried to do a quick video showing y'all how to do it the most friction-free way, but that didn't work out so well. Let's check that out. You're going to go to your iPhone 14 Pro, Pro Max, in this case Pro Max, settings, cellular, setup cellular. And then you're going to be greeted with this menu here to transfer from a nearby iPhone or use a QR code. Now, if you're going to a new carrier, they'll give you a card that'll have a QR code on it. But in this case, again, I'm transferring from my nearby iPhone, so I'm going to tap on that. You'll see on the iPhone 13 Pro Max, we get a screen that comes up that says transfer phone number. Transfer a phone number from this phone to your other iPhone. So I'm going to go ahead and click continue. Then it asks me for a verification code, so I'll go ahead and enter that. Transferring from iPhone to iPhone is supposed to be an easy process. In the video, I was going from an iPhone 13 Pro Max to this iPhone 14 Pro Max, but I kept getting the error message that my account was not eligible for this transfer. What ultimately ended up happening is I needed to call my carrier, T-Mobile, and give them my IMEI and EID numbers so they could provision the phone on their end. Once I called T-Mobile, the process was admittedly painless, and I think that once other manufacturers adopt these eSIMs more broadly in the US here, they'll have tools on their sites for you to put in your phone's information, that IMEI and EID, and make that transfer yourself if you're moving from an Android to an iPhone, for example. So now that we have our eSIM and calling service configured, hit up settings, then general, then about, and check for software updates. Your iPhone comes with iOS 16, but you'll want to update to iOS 16.0.1. According to release notes, it addresses some bugs like the inability to receive FaceTime calls or messages sent to another iOS device showing as green instead of blue. So yeah, basically it looks like there were some issues around messages and FaceTime as there were other related bugs. Here's where normally I'll talk about the lock screen and some other items, but those are really iOS 16 features, so we'll get to them at the end. Next thing, specific to iPhone 14 Pro and Pro Max, is that upgraded camera array and the front cameras. When I first played with the cameras from this Pro Max on day 1, I noticed an immediate difference in the portrait mode edge detection with my dog in the doggy park, comparing the iPhone 13 Pro Max to the iPhone 14 Pro Max. So get into that camera and play. Check out the new action mode, which gets real with the video stabilization, thanks to a larger sensor and AI. Great for you soccer moms and dads running on the sidelines, cheering your children on and capturing video of their goals or bloopers. Open the camera app, go into video mode, then tap the action button to enable it. If your kids need to shoot skits for school projects, cinematic mode is very cool and now has 4K resolution at 24 frames per second so that it looks more cinematic. Also, for those artsy magnet school kids, if they're doing an art project or creative project where image capture is the focus, use the new main camera to capture 48 megapixel 10-bit ProRAW DNG files that your student can then manipulate in image editing software to achieve any creative look their minds can imagine that their skills can execute, or thanks to YouTube, learn to execute. Now, I hate to bring things down a notch, but emergencies do happen, and Apple has upped their crash detection and emergency services game this year. The phone is now trained to detect extreme emergency car crashes well over 200 Gs. This feature isn't meant for motorcycles or planes going down, but primarily their machine learning models were trained by using four-wheeled vehicles, sedan, SUV, crash tests. So that's what you're looking at in terms of detection. In addition, Apple will also have emergency services available via satellite for when you're hiking or biking off the grid and have no cellular or Wi-Fi connection. That's a service coming later this year that will be free for the first 2 years and will contact one of their trained representatives pending some level of interaction from you, apparently. We'll have to wait until it comes out to fully test and see how it works. But given all the new emergency tech, you're going to want to go into your phone and set an emergency contact and consider setting up medical ID info if you haven't already on a previous iPhone. This way, EMS will be able to see something like your blood type or allergies right from your lock screen. Open Apple Health, tap on your profile picture, tap Medical ID, then edit. Keeping in a similar vein, but for non-emergency health-related info, if you've also picked up a Series 8 Apple Watch or Apple Watch Ultra, if you haven't already, go into the Apple Health app again and set up sleep tracking. The new watches have temperature sensors in them and will now be able to not only give you temp data over time, but will provide ovulation tracking over time. So if you've never set up cycle tracking in the Health app, hit the cycle tracking category in the Browse tab and set it up. In light of the recent issues with abortion rights in the States here, Apple spent a decent amount of time talking about how secure your data is when it comes to the new ovulation date estimation feature, saying that the cycle tracking data stays on your device and is encrypted when your phone is locked with the passcode, Touch ID, or Face ID. All right, let's bring it home with lock screen and the new always-on display, available only on the Pro and Pro Max this year. I walk you completely through how to use lock screens in another video on one of my personal playlists, so you can check that out. But now we have always on display. So whatever images you choose for your lock screens will also show dimly with that AOD action. I have to say that Apple has gone and done one of the best implementations of always on display, and their lock screens are powerful, especially when you connect them to a focus mode. Say you want a peaceful, relaxing image on your phone for winding down in the evenings. Connect that to sleep focus mode. Some motivational saying you like? Create a work hours focus mode and connect that to that mode. The ones you love front and center? Maybe that's weekend mode. The possibilities are endless, and you can do some cool things with widgets like I did here with my Masters of the Flying Guillotine poster I customized for my lock screen. Wait! Bonus thing! I know I said 5, but this is a bonus. No, Queen Bey. If you like your phone, then you should have put a case on it. These phones aren't cheap, so buying a decent case may be a must for many users who are hesitant to go au naturel. Yeah. Apple's cases are of course awesome. I have this leather case here, which is a great minimalist, high quality option. And I have one of my favorite cases from Catalyst. They sent me this. It's the Crux. It's compatible with MagSafe and it's super beefy. I've done whole videos on cases and talked about Supcase and D-Brand and MyPivet here on the channel, so I'll leave a link to that in the comments below. And go ahead and cop a screen protector while you're at it. I'm Tshaka Armstrong for Reviews.org. I hope this video has helped you with your first few things to get you going on your iPhone 14 Pro or Pro Max. If you have any questions, anything I didn't answer, go ahead and drop those in the comments below. I'll get to them. Love chatting with you. I'll catch you on the next video.